Hey, what's going on? So I wanted to do a one card draw from my tarot deck, guys. So uh, we got the Wow Unknown Tarot Guidebook and also, of course, the tarot deck. So I said that I was going to be doing more. Go ahead and take my glasses off. So I said that I was going to be doing more drawings from the tarot card deck, and that I was going to upload them on YouTube as well as some of my other social media channels. So, guys, so just a little bit about myself. If you're new to subscribing to my YouTube page, I am an author. I actually started a manuscript that I actually turned into a book. So I am in the process of becoming an official author, right? So the name of my book is Meditating How Altering My Consciousness Changed My Life, all right? So that book should be available to you within the next few months, okay? So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. I've actually been meditating now for, I would say, probably the past year and a half, 2 years. And I found out some interesting things through meditating. Starting out, I started out meditating from just, being able to calm myself down and have a peaceful mindset when I go to work, and so that has turned into something that I have consistently kept up on a daily basis. I meditate at least anywhere from 5 minutes, and sometimes it's up to 30, 40 minutes before I go to work. When I'm off, or guys, I actually channel, and I actually do readings as well. So when I'm in the process of meditating for that, that could be anywhere from 10, 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. It just depends on who I'm trying to connect to and what information I'm trying to receive. So that's just a little bit of information on me with meditating, as well as, guys, like I said, I channel. I have the abilities such as clairaudient, clairvoyant. I am a empath as well. A couple of different psychic abilities that I utilize to help and assist people, as well as, using it for myself. I'm a big dreamer. I dream a lot, and I also dream of numbers. I don't know how many of you actually dream of numbers, but I dream of numbers quite often. And a lot of those numbers do come out that day in a pick 2 or a pick 3. I haven't yet dreamt of numbers where I can play the Mega Ball or the Powerball, right? I'm looking forward to that day where I can dream of that many numbers and it actually comes out, right? So also, I have a podcast. Actually, I just started my second podcast, but my first podcast, it has about 7 episodes uploaded to it so far. And my first podcast is dealing with hemp, CBD, and medical marijuana. So I'm educating people on those aspects and the conversations of hemp, CBD, because I feel like a lot of people don't know much about it. They don't know much about it to make educational decisions on whether to invest in it, if it's a business or a new company that's rising up, or whether to, start pop-up shops, as well as, purchasing the CBD and hemp, because some people are just miseducated when it comes to the different levels of THC, what's in the product, how it reacts to your body. And most people don't even know that you actually have, just like you have a cannabinoid system, just like you have a respiratory system, just like you have a circulatory system, just like you have a digestive system, you also have a cannabinoid system. Cannabinoid is short for CBD, right? Cannabinoid. So that's a natural system that you have within your body. What it is the cannabinoids and the different elements of those oils, or of a natural chemical makeup within your body, right? It stops producing it at a certain age, right? It produces less of it. Why? Because you tend to work more. You tend to be more stressed in this day and this time. You tend to do a little bit more as you get older. Your body doesn't naturally produce the CBD calming effect that you get, like when you meditate, or when you're chanting, or when you're just at a state where you're doing breathing exercises, right? So it triggers your body automatically and naturally triggers a way for you to calm down from having high anxiety, from you just being at a state where you're stressed out, where where your body starts to react and shut down, right? The CBD, what it does is it naturally goes into your system, filtrates through your cannabinoid system, and go to what's ailing you, or what's making you agitated, stressed, or creating the anxiety within your body. And it naturally calms it naturally calms you down, right? So, and then, like I said, people talk about medical marijuana or weed or herb, things of that nature, and they don't know like the THC levels and that, what creates the psychoactive effects that's making them high, the effects on the body, the effects on the mind and the memory with marijuana, versus what it does and how it helps you with CBD and hemp. So, I try to educate people on my podcast, and bring in also, I like to bring in guests, so people will have more than just that one perspective from myself. They can have professional advice from people that works in those fields, or people that work in the health and wellness industry, and they can get their take on it. So my second podcast is going to be dealing with meditation, right? The different stages of meditation. Some people don't know what meditation is. Some people don't know how to meditate. Some people don't know how to reach deep levels of meditation where you access higher consciousness within yourself to bring about the results that you're looking for, or even whether it's connecting with your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors, and even deities that you may work with, on the metaphysical side and the spirituality side. So I'm going to be going in and creating episodes for my meditation podcast. So more people will be educated, more people will know exactly how to get to those deep levels of meditation where they can alter their consciousness and have experiences where it benefits them, and maybe even tap into, connecting with their ancestors, connecting with their spirit guides, So that's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I focus on. And so can we get to the one card drawing? Okay, so we're going to do that. I know you guys were waiting for the one card pull of the tarot drawing that I'm going to do for this Monday. So guys, I had these cards, these deck of tarot cards for about maybe 3 months now. Now I've been working with them, not as often as I should be, but I've been working with them. and I'm getting to learn them. So I'm still using the guidebook. I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? I'm new to this. I'm new to doing pulling cards for the tarot deck. I'm new to that, okay? But the thing is, just because you're new doesn't mean that it doesn't work, right? And so that's something that a lot of people have to get comfortable with. That's just like even when I channel and I do readings for people. I'm quite new to that, but I'm not new to metaphysics, right? I'm not new to spirituality. I'm not new to connecting with your spirit guides and your ancestors. I've been doing it for years, guys. I'm 47 now, and I've been on this journey since I was 18. So I have experience. I have a lot of experience when it comes to metaphysics, magic, manifesting things from your own mind, from your own thoughts, from your own, secret ability or special abilities. What most people say, when you're psychic or you're an empath or you have, certain abilities, they look at you like you're a unicorn. But to me, it's just natural. It's something that I've always felt, that this ability is something that I've always had. And, it's just learning how to tap into it and work with it. So that's what I'm going to teach you guys. That's how I made my psychic ability stronger, is through meditating. It's through tapping into, my inner self, doing what they call a shadow work, right? Because it's all about alignment, right? It's all about your alignment, your mindset, your belief within yourself. And once you start to make those aspects of yourself stronger, you start to become what most people call a supernatural being, or you just start to work with yourself at a higher consciousness level, should I say, right? So you don't get spooked out. So it's you're working with yourself at a higher consciousness state of your abilities. It's abilities that we all have. However, a lot of us, we forgot about the abilities, right? We forgot that they're dormant in us. Some of them are stronger in us than they are in others because of maybe of where your ancestors are, where they come from, what they used to practice, whether it was voodoo, hoodoo, whether they seen spirits, whether they talked to spirits. And those abilities, they become dormant within you because it's a part of your DNA. And on my father's side, they seen spirits, they talk to spirits. So it's something that is in my DNA. It's within my DNA. It's within my mindset to be this way, right? And so it's a natural ability that I have within myself, And so now that I've worked with it and opened those portals up, open those abilities up for me to access them at will, I work with it to keep me protected. I work with it to help and assist other people that may be going through, life changes, maybe someone that passed away, maybe someone that, they're working on their spiritual path. They need guidance on their spiritual path. They need assistance within their life to find out, okay, what steps do I take next? What talents and abilities do I have? What do I need to focus on? They're just looking for guidance and leadership on their spiritual path. So, okay, I've been talking long enough. So let's go ahead and do this one card draw. All right, so how I usually do it, guys, is I shuffle the cards real good, and then once I get through shuffling the cards, I'll start cutting the cards, right, or shuffling them sideways until Spirit just decides that, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a card for them to focus on for the day. So that's going to be a card that I'm going to focus on for what I'm doing. And also, when you're doing this, guys, you want to make sure that you light some sage, just so you know that the energy in the air is clear, right? I'm lighting sage, right? This is Paleo Santo sage. So you want to make sure that the energy is clear. You know, you want to make sure that you sage your cards as well, because you don't want any negative energy, any disagreeable energy that may be in the room or may be in your house, or let's say you may have had your cards around certain people. And here's the thing about spirit, guys. Spirit is, when you're dealing with spirit, when you're dealing with metaphysics, you're dealing with energies, right? You're dealing with high vibrational energies, and then you're dealing with low vibrational energies. And then you're dealing with energies that's in between the low vibration energies and the high vibration of energies. So that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with spirituality, when you're dealing with spirits. Everything vibrates, right? Everything has a vibrational tone. Everything, whether it's, you know, these glasses, whether it's this book, whether it's these cards, right? Everything vibrates. Everything in the universe vibrates. It vibrates at certain speeds where you may see a faster vibration from them, right? Even when you hear this, right? That right there, that's vibration, that's sound. Sound collaborating with molecules that's creating the sound, right? And that creates energy. Any entity or thing is made up of energy. It's made up of atoms, molecules, protons, neutrons, electrons. Everything that exists has a vibrational energy attached to it. So that's why you want to sage your cards, guys, with Paleo Santo sage, is to make sure that any energies that can attach itself to the cards or in the room, you know, that energy is cleared away from the cards. So now the spirit that is working with you, that works with your higher consciousness level, right, can really work with you and whatever it is that you want to know, whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to know it, why you want to know it, spirit tends to pull that card so you can see what it is in your life that's right, what it is in your life that's going wrong. And also, when you're working with tarot decks, guys, when you're working with tarot cards, it's basically your past, your present, and your future, right? So the cards are just basically pulling out things that are occurring in your life. It possibly could have occurred in the past. It may be going on currently, or something that you're going to foresee or go through in the future. And then it's basically, how are you going to approach that situation, that current situation, the past situation? How are you going to maneuver or make things different in your life so you can have a better outcome for the future, right? So when you're dealing with love and relationships, when you're dealing with jobs or careers or money, manifesting money, protection, whatever category or genre you want to put it in, right? It's dealing with your past, your current situation, and your future situation. So basically, if you haven't learned any lessons in the past, you're going to repeat them, right? So it's best to learn from your past what you did right, what you did wrong, and learn. And basically what you want to do is you want to be an observer, right? So you look at yourself from your Okay, you want to separate yourself from yourself, if that makes sense. So you have your soul, you have the physical body, and then you have the spirit, right? So the soul is the emotional body. That's the energy and motion. That's the ego, right? That's, you don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it my way. Or somebody try to give you advice, give you critical or criticism, right? They're critiquing you. And so the soul says, no, you know better than that. You know how to do it. Don't nobody tell you what to do or how to do it, right? So that's the ego. That's the soul, right? But then you have the spirit, which is the observer, right? The spirit have seen it, been there, done it before, right? So I know me, I hear a lot of people saying I have an old soul, or, spirit, I've been here before, right? So, so you just want to allow your spirit to become the observer of your soul, of your ego, of your emotions, of how you are reacting, your behavior, right? Your normal behavior or your agitated behavior. You just want to sit back and observe how you're reacting, what you're doing, and then how you're going to get out of the situation that you put yourself in, right? And so the physical body is nothing but an avatar. It's a cavity, right? It's a cavity that your soul and your spirit is within and is animating. So your physical body is nothing more than a car. It's a vehicle, right? So when people transition, when they go through life and they come to the end of their life, right? And their soul or their spirit decides to move on. You know what? I'm just thinking about it. Y'all are getting more than a one deck, than a one pull card from this tarot deck. Y'all are getting a lot of information, right? But I don't mind. I don't mind giving it to you because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to educate people and get them to a higher consciousness state. I feel that is one of the abilities that I have. I feel that's the reason that I chose, for whatever reason, to come back to Earth, is to educate people. So that's what I'm doing at any chance and any time that I get a chance to. Right. So, yes. So let's get back to it. Your body is nothing more than an avatar body. It's nothing more than a cavity. It's nothing more than dust from the ground or clay, right, that has attached itself to your energy and to your etheric pattern of your biorhythm, spirit, your biorhythm of your soul. So your outside body has attached itself and formed itself around your spirit. If that's a little bit too much for you, if that's going in a little bit too deep, I'll break it down at a later time, and make sure that you really try to get some understanding of what I'm talking about. But it makes perfectly good sense to me. So anyway, I've done the saging of the cards, done the saging of this space in this room. So we should have a good pull of these cards. So let's see what Spirit is going to tell us with this card. And so with this card, this is what I'm going to focus on for today. And as well, it could be a card that you can focus on or work on yourself. So remember what I told you, that whenever you pull in a card, it's just telling you about your past, your current situation, or something that could possibly happen for you or to you in the future. And so it all depends on how you react to it and what steps you're going to take to either change it or, allow it to come into fruition, allow it to come to pass, and you just see how it comes to you at that time, and then you make the adjustments at that necessary time. So, all right. Let's see what card Spirit is going to pull out. Let's see what card Spirit is going to pull out. And that's another thing too. You know, a lot of people, they try to make Spirit pull a certain card, but you're supposed to shuffle until, as you saw, Spirit pulled out this card, right? So this is the Three of Wands, right? So the Three of Wands. So I'm going to read from the guidebook of what that Three of Wands is talking about. All right, guys, so we just arrived here at the Three of Wands, right? Envisioning your future, envisioning the future, right? So it says, the Three Wands indicates you have had continued support from others, perhaps from your parents or two good friends. With their help, you have formed a sense of self, of your values and morals. But now it's time to rely on yourself for guidance, right? Clarify your goals and cast others' needs and opinions aside. The future is infinite and it is yours. No one else can see through its layers of light and shadow. And I'm going to add on to that. No one can tell you about yourself except you, right? So that's what it's talking about. The light, which is the spirit, which is the energy, the shadow, which is the soul, which is the inner you, right? Because you got to go back into the soul. You got to go back into the soul to do the inner work, right? Because a lot of us, let's face it, right? A lot of us are truly messed up, right? We're truly messed up because of maybe things that has happened throughout our generations. And you know that when things happen throughout the generations, if it happened to, let's just say, 4 generations in the past, no one works on correcting it, right, within your DNA. No one works on correcting that behavior. No one works on realizing that it's a trait, but it has a behavior attached to that trait. So you need to work on the behavior, changing your behavior, or at least observing the behavior, realizing that it's either okay, it's okay to be like that, or if it needs to change, realize that it needs to change and work on changing it. Because if not, you're going to pass it down to the next generation, right? So that's what it's talking about, envisioning the future, not the current, not the past, but the future. If you envision the future and you work on yourself, right? From what the book said, it says that you've had continued support from others, perhaps your parents or 2 good friends. With their help, you have formed a sense of self, of your values and morals. So your sense of self doesn't come from you, right? Or up to a point where you start your spiritual walk. Once you start your spiritual walk, you come to find out who you truly are, who the real self is, right? When you're spiritual walk. But before that, if you're not conscious at all, right, then you tend to accept what other people say about you. Whether they're making fun of you, whether they're picking at you, whether they have their own observation or thoughts about you. And they, create rumors and say you're this and you're that. And if you accept what they're saying and you attach that to you, you basically just put a spell on yourself because you're attaching those words, those emotions, those feelings that come from those words that they are creating about you. You have accepted that. So you not only accepted the words, you accepted the emotions, you accepted the feelings, you accepted the energy that comes with all of that. So all of that negative energy, all of the negative situations that's surrounding that word or that current situation or what they have said about you, you've accepted that. So now that's putting weight on your back. That's putting weight on your shoulders. Instead of you learning who you are, being confident in who you are and what you are, and not caring about what other people think, not giving a fuck, to be honest with you, right? So you have to learn your sense of self, of who you are, right? The values that you were taught by your generations before you, whether it was your mother, your father, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, whoever raised you, right? They taught you values and morals, or some of them maybe didn't teach you values and morals. Maybe you learned values and morals from a TV, right? Because they allowed the TV to monitor you and watch you and babysit you. Or you learned those values from, let's just say, school, elementary school, high school, maybe neighbors or people that's in your neighborhood that you admired and looked up to and hung around. So those are that's where you're getting your values and your morals from, right? So, and those values and morals, they shape you. They shape the person you will become. They shape the person that you already are, right? So when you learn, once you get on this spiritual path, once you get on this metaphysical path, guys, you learn who you are. You learn who the inner you are. The inner you is. You actually start to go in and work on the shadow self and work on that little boy. Let's just say, okay, I'm 47, right? I go in when I'm meditating, when I'm chanting, when I'm connecting with spirit, and spirit is guiding me and telling me, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what, or I may get a reading as well. Because, even though I do reading, sometimes, psychics need readings as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not perfect. So a lot of times people can see within us that's on a spiritual path that we may not be able to see within ourselves. So, so we take that with a grain of salt, but we take it and if it applies to you, that's something that you want to work on. That's a behavior or a situation that you want to observe and work on, doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, right? And so once you do that, you can then peel off all of these layers. You can peel off all of these layers of who you think you are, right? Or what people have told you was, and you accepted it and you believed it. And let's just say they weren't good things to hear about yourself. But you, because you had low self-esteem, or you was depressed, or you was the state of your mindset wasn't a good state of mindset, and you allowed these things to be said about you, you attach them to yourself. And that's who you believe that you are, right? That you're worthless, that, you're no good, that, you're never going to have anything worth having, so on and so forth. All of these negative connotations or negative things people say about you, whether they say them to your face or whether they say them to others and you hear it by a second or third person. A lot of times you may not realize it, but even if it's said in the second or third person, if you hear about it, a lot of times you're like, is that the way I really am? Is that the way that they perceive me? And so now you're starting to second guess yourself and third guess yourself. Like, I know I'm like this, but this is how this person is viewing me. This is how this person is seeing me, So now you're starting to second guess yourself instead of saying, look, that's your opinion. Your opinion has nothing to do with me and who I know I am and who I'm positively confident in who I am. I know who I am. But what you perceive about me, whether you think that I'm crazy, I'm too emotional, that I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, that's your observation of who I am. That's your perception of who I am, but that's not who I am, right? So when we pulled this card from this tarot deck, guys, I didn't realize I was gonna go into breaking it down like I have. But even though I'm new to the tarot deck, guys, you see that that I have experience in spirituality and knowing how to break things down. So hopefully you'll see that and you'll value that, and you just won't take, oh, he's new to being a tarot card reader, and we're going to take everything you say with a grain of salt. We're not going to listen to him because he doesn't have enough experience. He doesn't know. You know, I do know. I do know. I'm just new to pulling cards, right? But when it comes to spirit and me connecting with spirit, you know, that's where my experience comes in at. And no matter what, spirit will lead me down the right path and will give me the right information to deliver to people. So that's what you have to be confident in, right? So hopefully this has helped. Hopefully you can learn from it and maybe work on doing some shadow work for yourself, or just learning how to observe your emotions, your actions, and observe what people say about you. And, you know, realize that what people say about you is not the truth. You know the truth about who you are because you're meditating, you're taking that inside journey, right? You're taking that spiritual walk within yourself, getting to know yourself, getting to know your spirit guides, getting to know your guardian angels and your ancestors. So you're getting to learn who you are and different aspects of who you are. So nobody can tell you who you are. So be confident, be bold, and learn from your experiences. So that's the best advice that I can give you. So with that, hopefully you guys have learned something. See you in the next video.